Hi guys, it's Amy from Swisher Family Farm. I wanted to do a little Q&A today about the pros and cons of working at home when you have a homestead. The company I work for, I work at the corporate office in the HR department, and I had an opportunity when the pandemic first started. They sent us home to work, and so I have had an opportunity to continue working at home, even though the pandemic is really slowing down at this point in 2021. It's been nice because when we moved out to the homestead, one of the things that was a challenge for us was that, especially in the wintertime, I was leaving the homestead before the sun came up and was coming home after the sun had set. So there was not a whole lot I could do in the dark out here on the homestead. And it was frustrating to Justin because he felt like he was having to do everything. And so the only time that I could help was on the weekends. So that was a challenge because it took me, we're about an hour and 20 minutes away from my work. Because this was the best deal that we could find for land. Closer to Nashville, you guys know we live around the Nashville area. Closer to Nashville, the land is very expensive and there's not a lot of it. And so we got a really great deal on this piece of property. Anyway, so towards the start of the pandemic, got an opportunity to work from home, and that presented its own challenges. You know, you have to figure out internet service and you know, having a phone line and a quiet place to work. And for probably 6 months or so, I was working at the dining room table. Or, well, I call it a dining room table. It was a little cafe table that we used to eat at. And that worked for a little while, but then Justin built me a desk. So that was nice. So I would say if you do have to work from home, one important thing is to have a comfortable space to do that. Make sure that you have a good comfortable chair. Make sure that you have a good place, an ergonomic place to put your workspace, so that if you're working on the computer all the time, that you get to do that. The other pros of working at home is that in the morning, before I start work, I can get up and go outside, and I can let the chickens out and get them fed, and I can go in the garden, and I can make sure I can go through and do some weeding first thing in the morning, and I can go through and make sure that we've cleaned off any worms if we've seen any signs of any worms. And so I can do those things in the morning before I start work, before I even start making breakfast. I can get those things done and out of the way, at least right now because it's summertime, and the sun comes up about 5 o'clock in the morning here in the summertime. So I have a couple hours in the morning that I can get up and come outside and do stuff before I have to start working. And then in the evening, same thing. When I'm done work and I have a few hours of sun that I can come out and help with certain projects and things, and so I can come outside and do things and still have time before the sun goes down that we can work on projects together if there's stuff out here that needs to be done together. And during the day, if there's something out here that he needs help with for just a few minutes, I can come outside and I can help. And I really feel that being able to work from home has really given us a much better work-life balance, because I'm not commuting for 90 minutes a day anymore. I mean, that's 90 minutes. That's an hour and a half that's taking away from, or no, 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's taking away from time that I could be here on the homestead, because it was about 90 minutes to get to work and 90 minutes to get home. So that was taking away from time that I could spend on the homestead doing projects. So that is a definite pro of working at home, not having to make that drive every day plus it's not putting wear and tear on my car. We don't have to spend gas for me to go that far. And so those are all pros of being able to work at home. again, having the comfortable workstation set up to make it easy. And where he built my desk is right in front of the window, so I can look outside and see nature and see the trees. So I'm looking across the street right over here to see the reason why we moved out here, to be in nature. And where the window is right in front of that bird feeder there, so I can watch the birds go over there and eat the bird seed in the wintertime and be flying all over the place. There was even a couple of birds that made a nest in there and had their babies in there. We could hear the babies chirping in there.
Well, you could when the window was open.
Yeah, when I would have the window open, I could hear the babies chirping in there. So that was nice to have a nice, comfortable workstation set up to make it easier. And we have learned, my department has learned that my position and the positions right under me, we will continue to work from home instead of having to go back into the office, which is awesome because apparently my team and I are more efficient and more productive at home than we were in the office, because we all sat in a cube kind of together.
Chime in, because you get a bunch of hens together and
yeah,
they just swap.
Yeah. So apparently we do more work when we're alone than we did when we were together, which is fine. But anyway, so we're going to be able to continue working from home, which is awesome.
Yes, it's wonderful to have my wife here 24/7.
Yeah. The other thing too is that I have time in the morning to make breakfast for both of us. At lunchtime, I can make lunch for both of us. So, you know, I start work at a certain time, work for a few hours, make us lunch, feed the chickens, go back to work for a few more hours, and then, you know, the day is over. And so my commute is from the bed to the bed to the chair, and that's my commute in the morning.
And sometimes I'll be like, all right, so you going to work now? And she'll say, yep, I'm going to work. I says, all right, well, you tell me when you get there. And it
takes me about 5 seconds.
Takes me about 5 seconds. She turns around, looks, she says, all right, I'm at work. Great.
The other thing too is, you know, as you guys know, Justin and I have worked really hard to try to watch our weight and, you know, manage that much better than we were when we were living in our apartment
in the city.
Yeah, and so we've had an opportunity, or I've had an opportunity for the past couple months that several times throughout the day, I will get up and come outside and walk. I don't do it in the middle of the afternoon right now because it does get so hot out here. Last few days it's been 90 degrees in the afternoon and very humid. So I don't want to come outside and walk a couple laps and go back in with my hair all curly and sticking out everywhere and being all sweaty and then have to sit there the rest of the afternoon. So I don't do it in the afternoon, but I will walk before I start work. I'll walk in the morning. About mid-morning, I take a few minutes break and I'll walk a little bit then. And then I walk again in the evening. And it just to get some exercise. And that's good too when you have a job that you sit down at a lot. It's good to get up and move and change your position. So whether you have a desk that you can raise up to do the sit to stand desk, whatever you need to do to get up and move. And if your job entails moving around a lot, then you should take breaks and sit down. That is a big benefit of being up here, because I can just stop working and take those few minutes to just do a couple laps around the driveway. What's nice about our driveway too is I've checked, I marked my steps on my phone, and it also tracks the elevation. And from the highest point of my lap to the lowest point of my lap is 13 feet. I checked that. So there is, and I changed the way that I go. So sometimes I'll go around the driveway and back up the road, and sometimes I'll go down the road and back up the driveway. Either way, I can feel where there's different places where the elevation is different. It's more gradual coming up the road than it is coming up the driveway. There's a couple of places coming up the driveway that I can really feel in my calves that I'm going uphill.
And incline.
Yeah, and so that helps with my exercise. So I get my heart rate going and I'm doing my cardio. So that also has been beneficial because I wouldn't necessarily have that opportunity being in the office to be able to take a few breaks and take a few laps around the building.
Well, they say it's not healthy to sit in an office
right.
chair that long anyway.
Yeah.
Blood clots, and there's a lot of medical stuff that can go wrong.
Yeah. So I do try to do that a couple of times a day, and I've noticed the last couple months that I've been doing that, it's really
helped you out.
Yeah, it helps me out and gets my. Plus, it helps for my concentration. I come outside, do a couple laps, gets my blood flowing, and then I go back in and I'm ready to go back to work, and I'm ready to go and stay focused and everything. So that helps with that too. Any cons that I would have to say, probably the only con that really happened was when I first started working from home. Justin and I really had to sit down and have a serious conversation. We had to sit down and have a really serious conversation because he was outside working and he would get mad because I was inside with the fan or the air conditioning going, and he would come in and be mad because I wasn't coming out and helping him. Well, I'm working. This is how we're paying for what we're doing here at the homestead. So I have to work from 8 to 5. And so we had to have a serious conversation and set some boundaries. And yes, if there's something that he needs, he's moving the generator over to the pump where the well is. Something that he needs my help to lift something or something, I can come out for a few minutes to help him do that. But he would want me to come out and help pull fence. I'm not doing that. I am working and I'm getting paid for that because I get paid a salary whether I'm sitting at the computer or not. So I'm working. I'm going to continue doing that because that's what's paying the bills around here. And so we really had to have that serious conversation about that and set expectations so that he wouldn't come in and get mad at me that I wasn't coming out to help him. Now, some of the other things that I do throughout the day, especially when it's hot outside, is I'll make sure that there's water and stuff in the fridge, water and Gatorade for him in the fridge, and every couple hours I'll bring some out and check on him and make sure that he's keeping hydrated.
She's just checking to make sure she can collect the insurance policy yet or not.
That's not true. If that was true, I wouldn't come out and bring you water.
Well, you start thinking that way, and then you feel bad about the way you're thinking, and then you bring me water. Let me tell you guys, she is right about the indoor thing and about me expecting her to come out and help me and everything. And we've worked that out. Mm-hmm. It's nothing like it used to be.
Yeah.
And you're going to have these trials and tribulations also.
So, I know that there's a lot of people that when they go out to homestead, they want to do things on their homestead that can make the money, which is great. Absolutely. A lot of people do that, and a lot of people are real successful at it. And that's fine. But a lot of times when you first start out, you aren't going to have that opportunity where you can start making money right away. And so as a new homesteader, you might have to get a job. Or keep your current job to be able to be successful at it. Until you start making money doing your homesteading. If you're raising animals to sell, if you're raising eggs to sell, if you are doing market gardening, that you're going to sell at a local farmer's market or sell on the internet, whatever you're doing to make money on your homestead, whatever it is, you may not start making money right away and be able to sustain yourself on the homestead just doing that. So I would recommend that you, if it is something that you need to either continue with your current job or get another job to be able to do your homestead. If you have an opportunity to try to find a job where you can work from home, there are jobs out there, especially the pandemic has changed work from home so much because now you can do meetings online. You can do meetings through your phone. You can, they have all kinds of things that you can do to make it easier to work at home. So work from home has really changed. There's a lot more jobs that are able to work from home than ever before. And you can find them. You just have to look on the internet. do your research, learn about the company, learn about what aspects of the job, do a lot of research, and make sure that it's something that you are interested in and that you want to do, and that it's going to be beneficial to sustain you on the homestead. And then, you know, if it's you and a significant other, make sure that you have those conversations about setting boundaries, about when you're going to be available to help, when you are going to be tied up with work. If I'm in meetings, that's one of the things I do throughout the day. Before I start work, I check my calendar and let Justin know if I'm going to be in a meeting, if I'm making phone calls, what it is that I'm going to be doing that day, so that he can be outside and not interrupt during the day when I'm in a meeting.
Which helps out. It's
yeah.
Communication is key one.
Yeah. So those are my words of advice. If you do have to get a job and you want to try to work from home, those are my words of advice. Make sure that you have a comfortable workspace. That's key. Take breaks throughout the day to go outside. You don't have to walk and do laps, but get up and walk around. Change your position. That's really important for your health and for your body, to prevent blood clots and things in your legs. Communicate with your partner and make sure that there are boundaries set, so that when you have to be focused on work, you can be focused on work and aren't being distracted by things going on in the homestead. And then just enjoy your life and enjoy what you're doing. And one of the things that I like is that, you know, when it's really nice out like it is right now, I can come out and sit in this rocking chair.
And in the glider.
In my glider, and I can work out here on my computer, which is nice. That's another benefit that I like, being able to work from home. I can just bring my laptop right out here and work. Now, I don't do it in the middle of the afternoon because it's too hot out here, but...
you don't do it in winter.
And I don't do it in winter. Spring and fall are really nice to work outside.
Yeah.
But, so those are my comments and philosophy about working at home and having a homestead. And I would definitely recommend it if it's something that you are able to do. I would definitely recommend it. There are a lot more pros than cons. And the con that we had, we were able to work out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's come to now where it's not a bother no more, and I understand, and it was hard. It really was. Yeah. But our first year, a lot of things were hard.
Yeah. Yep.
There was so much going on. It was so overwhelming.
We started doing this, and then 2 months later, there was a pandemic.
Yeah.
And the world shut down.
Yeah, the world shut down. I mean, talk about the stress factor.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my gosh. Yeah. But it's worked out better. It's made our relationship stronger. Yep. It's made us more understanding about each other's space and time. Yeah. And we both realized that both of us have to work in order to be able to live off-grid or live on the farm. Yeah. I mean, I do side jobs everywhere.
Well, thank you for watching and listening to my update about working from home. This is Amy from Swisher Family Farm. Please hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up if you like the video, and hit the notification bell so that you get notified when we have new videos.
And if you have any questions, ask Amy from down below.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Bye.
You always have to get the last word.
You know that's right. Out.